Okay, today's topic can be encapsulated by saying this is your guide as to how to be a hero. Who doesn't want to be a hero, right? But a hero, not a hero with like a cape leaping tall buildings in a single bound, but a fitness hero, a health and fitness hero. That's it. How to be a health and fitness hero. And there's a very short answer to it, and then, of course, a little bit of explanation. But there's something that I've noticed which is quite interesting as life has progressed, which is if you just stick with it, consistency, you will become a hero, almost regardless of your work capacity across broad time and modal domains. But a hero with regards to general society, general population. As if you're in your 20s, you're you're somewhat expected to be in shape. Now that might be unfair, it might not be true, etc., etc., but it's not uncommon to see fit people in their 20s. And then your 30s happen, and it's easier to just let things slide. Maybe you got married, some kids occurred, work's getting a little stressful, trying to make partner at the law firm, whatever happens, and things get pushed. Things get pushed to the side, and one of the first things to get pushed to the side is probably anything that you do for yourself, such as time in the gym, and that drifts a bit. So it's fairly common to see people start to lose it a bit in the 30s, start to have a body composition go in a direction that they didn't want it to go, and their fitness declines. And then you punch into your 40s, and now you're in a totally new realm where, unless you are hanging out with crazy CrossFitters most of the time, which most of us probably are, I feel confident saying that there's far more people in the world not maintaining their health and fitness in their 40s than there are. And this can be, in an anecdotal sense, verified by going to any major theme park. And then, of course, as you get into your 50s and 60s, that trend continues. So the heck with having a 2-minute 30-second Fran or a 500-pound deadlift, like these whiz bang amazing numbers that, blah, blah, blah. If you're just working out and you have relative capacity, just middle of the road fitness, in a group of CrossFitters, nobody will look at you twice, right? Because you just look like every other quote unquote normal CrossFitter. If you continue that trend into your 30s, 40s, and 50s, you have achieved hero status because you are now in a very, very small elite group of individuals that decided not to close up shop on health and fitness and to keep those things a priority and to somehow put nutritious foods into your mouth versus the cheap, easy, fast crap that's readily available everywhere. You somehow, through incredible discipline, made the decision to wander out into the cold garage gym or head down the road to your affiliate or pick up the dumbbells in your apartment or whatnot, when it would have been so easy to just get a bowl of ice cream, sit on the couch. There has to be something wonderful on Netflix that you would find really engaging, and just one night of that turns into 2 nights, turns into a year, turns into wondering what the heck happened to your life. And so, just making a rudder adjustment, not choosing to be some ferocious beast of fitness, not choosing to be somebody that I'm going to see at a sanctioned event, not being somebody that I'm going to talk about when they compete at the games, just somebody who has decided to give a crap about their health and fitness. And just be, let's use the term, a mediocre CrossFitter. That's your goal. Be a mediocre CrossFitter. Well, you might only be quote unquote mediocre compared to crazy CrossFitters around the world, but compared to everyone else, you've got a cape on. You are an actual superhero. So consistency is absolutely mission critical to achieving hero status. And the good news is that it doesn't take any really special skills, talent, no flashy genetics. You don't need to be, none of that stuff. It's available to everybody through just personal choice and discipline, which are wonderful things that all of us have been bestowed upon. Now, all of the things that I've said up to this point are true, and I would pass them if I was hooked up to a polygraph. That doesn't mean that any of this is easy, right? A whole lot of things in life fall into that category of being really simple and straightforward and logical, but not necessarily easy. It's not easy to pick up a pair of 50-pound dumbbells and do squat cleans with them when you can just wander over to your couch and watch Netflix with a bowl of ice cream. That's not easy. There is a whole lot of powerful advertising and algorithms designed to get you to not grab the dumbbells and to walk over and to click on the electronics. And so it's an uphill battle, but it is a possible battle. And at least if you are talking about the battle and aware of the battle, you might have a small chance of fighting it and winning. So, this all came about, through a couple of things, which is there was a time a little while ago where it was getting a little bit late at night. We hadn't worked out yet. My wife and I are sitting on the couch, and it was that critical time, right? It would have been so easy to just blow it off. We had the time. Okay, we could have wandered out into the garage. It was like 7 at night, but we didn't want to. The garage was cold. The couch was cozy. Everything was set up for us not to get fitness in that night. And I was like, ugh. With about as little motivation as I could muster in my voice, I was like, ugh. I think we had a row of 5K. That's exactly what it was, too. We had a row of 5K. Who wants to do that? So I was like, all right, I'm going to wander out into the garage, row this stupid 5K if you want to head out there with me. And to which she replied, I don't want to, and I'm not throwing her under the bus. She would, this is just a real conversation we had. She's like, I really don't want to. To which I replied, me neither. I don't want to do it at all. However, that has absolutely nothing to do with whether or not I will go do it. The two topics are unrelated in my mind. It doesn't matter what I want to do. It matters what I am committed to and dedicated to doing, and that will supersede a particular want or desire. So do I want to go out into the garage? Absolutely not. I can think of 50 other things that I'd rather do. But I will go out into the garage because I have chosen to be dedicated or committed to the lifestyle that I want to lead, and being, fit and healthy so I can run around with my kids and, shy of some terrible genetic component having been dealt in my birth. I'd like to control and prevent any potentially diseases that might come my way based upon lifestyle factors. So I'll try my darndest to live a healthy lifestyle. And, I've had this conversation with some people before, and it's not a new topic, and I certainly have not created or invented any of this stuff. So please don't think that I'm saying I'm the author of this. This is things that have been said by multiple people in multiple books and multiple podcasts, been around for a long time. But, motivation's nice, and it's great to be motivated. But motivation is fleeting. Some days you feel it, other days you don't feel it. And that's why if you're clinging on to doing something when you're motivated to do it, you might never quite do that. I'm never motivated to clean the gutters on my house. So if I waited until I was motivated to clean the gutters on my house, I would never clean the gutters on my house. Now, on the other side of that, so, it's wonderful if you do have some motivation, that's for sure. Wouldn't turn it down. But then if you are committed to or dedicated to accomplishing certain tasks because you've laid out the life that you want to lead or whatever it happens to be, and you realize that certain steps have to be taken to achieve that end state, and you're committed to that end state, and you realize that some of the steps leading to that goal might be unpleasant or undesirable, or there certainly could be other things that you would want to do, but you realize you will have to pass through that small path of discomfort or unpleasantness or whatever it happens to be to get to where you actually want to be. If you lay it out that way, it might make it a little easier to realize that, I'm going to do this even though, quote unquote, I don't want to. So this relates to, could you imagine what kind of a world? Nothing would get accomplished in the world if people only did what they wanted to do. Think about that for a second. Nobody cares what you want to do. A lot of people don't want to go to work, don't want, fill in the blanks, whatever it happens to be. But some things just have to get done. And so, figure out what you want, what's got to get done, and get out there and do it. So, this kind of also relates to, again, something I certainly did not create, but I'm a fan of, the be, do, have progression, which I think we've actually chatted about before. And it's a nice little progression to get you on the right path to where you want to be. And an oversimplification is that most people start with the have, and that's the only thing that they think about. What do I want to have? I want to have six-pack abs. I want to have a cooler car. I want to have improved, health and fitness, whatever it happens to be. They think about what they want to have. I want to have a bigger deadlift. And then they don't actually back up to the next couple of steps. So the have is relatively easy. And then before the have, there's the do. It goes be, do, have. And the do is, okay, well, you know what you want to have, but what do you have to do to actually accomplish that thing? And so if it's, well, what I want to have is I want to have improved health and fitness. Well, what you probably have to do is find an effective program, an effective strength and conditioning program, and then you actually have to do it, and you've got to stick with it through the highs and lows, etc., etc. And again, that's easy to say, but hard to do. So you've got the have, you've got the do, right? The do is we've got to go ahead and find a strength and conditioning program, stick with it. Well then, I've got to eat better. That's what you need to do also. Easy to say, hard to do. Well then, now we get to the first part, the be. Be, do, have. What is the type of person that you need to be that does those things? Because at the moment, you might not be that person, or you would be doing those things and it would be a little bit easier for you. So you might have to start thinking about what kind of person do you need to be to do those activities that will get you the have, that will get you what you want. And the type of person you may need to be is potentially involving a mindset change. You need to be the sort of person that is committed to health, to fitness, to whatever it happens to be, that embodies a healthy lifestyle, that spends their time immersed in activities and surrounded by people that have common and similar goals. You may want to write down these goals, read them every morning, kind of define your why, anything that you can do to start to become the sort of person that will do the steps necessary to get what you want to have. And so I'm relatively big fan of the be, do, have. And like I said, not my idea. What helps me with this as well is reading. So I try to read 10 pages a day of a nonfiction book, and I generally choose a nonfiction because I like learning and reading about real people, their accomplishments, their successes, their struggles, and knowing that that's something that truly happened, and learning more about somebody else's struggle, somebody else's dedication, their commitment, their perseverance helps me harness mine a little bit easier, and then that helps me be the sort of person that I need to be to do what I need to do, to have what I want to have, etc., etc., etc. So, again, this is all linked back to the initial topic of how to be a hero, how to be a superhero in health and fitness. It's not complicated. It's really not. Some people will try to make it complicated and sell you on some real whiz-bang stuff and some super big Scrabble words. I'm sorry. It's just smoke and mirrors. It's not that complicated. The toughest thing you're going to do is choose whether or not to stick with it. And so find something that you love, find a community that will support you and be there for you, because that is going to make doing what you need to do all the easier. A support network is critical. So that's it. Everybody just go out there and commit to it. Dedicate yourself to it. Be a hero. Be different. I think you'll enjoy it. Have a great day.